Shalom. First and foremost, let me start off by giving all praises and blessings to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rahaha, Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect men of Yasharallah, scattered across the four corners of the planet Earth, diligently teaching and spreading this word in truth and in sincerity, risking life and livelihood to do so, especially in these days and times. All right. And shalom to the women and children who watch and who learn as well. And here is a story, a article, okay, this morning that I'm going to get into. I'm going to pretty much piggyback off of a lesson that I did yesterday about pretty much, our people, such as this woman here, all right, who like to make an excuse when it comes to reclaiming their identity as the Hebrew Israelites, all right? And this is not nothing that, we're not trying to push this on you, man. It's really up to you, man, okay? It's just like a lot of people, they don't want to hear about the slavery thing no more. They're tired and fed up of hearing about slavery and seeing slavery movies. But as soon as, something like reparations come up, guess what? They want money. They're going to want money. All right. And the same thing when the Lord, guess what? You're not going to get reparations, but you are. OK, you will receive salvation. OK, you are going to inherit the kingdom. OK, of heaven. And that's forever, man. OK, and that will be forever. Just as the Lord, had to come, and be in human flesh, okay? And we had to suffer this lower state of being in this human flesh, okay? We're going to, which the scriptures say, our bonds of darkness, okay? In the kingdom, okay, we're going to have another flesh, okay? Another flesh, another body, one that will keep the law, all right? Keep the law. And so, a lot of you're getting comfortable with this damn flesh, and no matter how well you treat this, this flesh, man, it's gonna do what it's set up to do. Okay, you got Esau trying to merge. All right, he's trying to merge flesh and electronics and machinery. Okay, and ultimately, he's going to just try to, he's going to try to begin, okay, with the RFID chip, okay, and that's going to be the beginning. Which, if you take that chip, man, if you receive that chip inside of your flesh, okay, even this repulsive flesh, well, then guess what, man? You will be destroyed. And again, a lot of you will, okay? A lot of you are going to take that chip, okay? And that's mentioned in Revelations, the 13th chapter, all right? And back to this story, okay? Because, like I was saying, our people, they don't want, they want to make an excuse, okay? And then, especially, and then, the so-called black woman, all right? And this being the case, and this says the UK, oh, wait, let me get to the top. It says, I lived in Japan, Spain, and the UK. Okay, so this woman from America, okay, she lived in Japan, Spain, and the UK. Because even though I've faced racism as a black American. So there's no such thing as a black American. All right. See, and that right there is stupidity. Okay, that's the stupidity that our people take abroad with them because they're well off. You see, you understand. During the time of people like what was this guy, Marcus Garvey? Okay, my great uncle. Okay, when they went abroad to these other places, and this was before the this was even before the 1960s, okay, or the 1950s. All right. They didn't encounter, okay, what these people who identify as black Americans, because people who identify as black Americans, listen, you have these people in these other lands who are learning English, okay? And so you identifying even as a black, the term black everywhere is a terrible, jacked up term, okay? So someone just learning English, okay? And then they know what America embodies. And you're claiming that. And then you're coming with this Western, and especially the so-called black woman, all right? You even have some men who are now making us look bad abroad in these other countries, man. Ex-drug dealers or whatever. Nigga might have hit the lotto, and they're going abroad and they're giving us a bad name with their nigga attitude, the attitude that they've learned from the nigga woman. All right. And yeah, of course, a lot of these foreigners, they're not going to like you. Okay. But a lot of you don't make it any better with your niggered attitude, man. Okay. It's your black American attitude. There's no such thing as a black American, and that's a derogatory term, which was given to you by your oppressor, by your slave master. And you're nothing, it's just, and that's why you need to watch those slave movies so that you can see that the plantation is no different than what you're living today. Okay? You go to these other countries, you go over to, let me see, a country, Saudi Arabia, okay? And you go over there with that disrespectful attitude that you've learned in the ghetto, on the plantation, okay? In order to get there, you have to what? You have to show your papers. It's the same thing that slaves did when they left the plantation. And now everyone in the world, Salakia, has to show papers. Okay? This is as Alex Jones coined it, prison planet. So you have to show your papers. But even then, you have this, this terrible attitude. You draw attention to yourself. Okay, one, you're the salt of the earth. Okay, so you don't have to do much to draw attention to yourself. Okay? You're the salt of the earth, man. They recognize you, once you get there. Okay? and you make it bad for yourself here because mostly they see you where on TV, doing entertainment, okay, being a clown on TV, okay. When you see when they portray men from Europe on TV, these guys are military like. They're disciplined, okay. They're strong, okay. And this is the way that they portray European men. So you see a European man, all right, and this is what you think, okay. And here you are, okay, the strongest man on earth, and you're a transformer, okay. You're a simp, you a sucker, okay. You're some dude with his pants hanging down to his kneecaps, man. With a short, tight T-shirt on, man. So of course, when you go abroad and overseas, you're Rodney Dangerfield, man. You ain't getting no respect, and we're not gonna feel sorry or pity, okay? Like this, the basketball player, man. Want to be a man, okay? Flying in and out of Russia, doing whatever the hell her funky ass want to do until they locked her up, man. And she's, they haven't, she's been quiet, low key. But see, these black women, and these men, okay, these, black American, because they like that label, man. And again, these people, when they go to these places, they go like, you know, with the Western American attitude. All right, I'll just say it, leave it at that. Okay. So being a black American is the problem. Okay. And she goes on to say, I'd rather live abroad than in the US. Hey. And most people say this, okay? Most people say this. And yeah, man, no one wants to live here, man. And Esau knows that. That's one of the reasons why you're underpaid, okay? Underprivileged. Because, if all the so-called, it would be like Egypt again, man. If all the Israelites decided to up and leave this place and leave this place alone to Esau, they would destroy it, man. They would destroy us trying to leave. The only reason that those European countries, Greece, and the only reason that those countries are even doing okay or have been doing okay is because all of these Edomite countries sponsor each other. And America, with your black American tax dollar, it sponsors and gives help and aid to these European countries. And that's from your black and so-called Hispanic and Native American tax dollar. They all split it and share it. Okay? Elsewise, those other countries would fold, man, which they're folding now. So this woman, Londi Cox, she's an international psychologist who lives abroad since 2014 and now lives in Japan. Okay. Says Cox said she experienced racism living as a black American in Spain, England, and Japan. Okay. And there's people who go to these places, all right, and you know, they never experience any problems, any trouble. So, you know, just going over there with that attitude, you know, these people were crying and begging for jazz and blues players to come over there and perform in some of these places. And none of those people or their families ever had anything bad to say. It's you know, the black American, okay? Those who identify as black American. And remember, you were exiled out of Spain. I don't, you know, you know, Spain was one of our last strongholds, man, as the Moors. Okay, and you were exiled out of Spain, and then you had these 1948ers who tried to say that it was them. Okay, no, man. Those people in Spain have a problem with you. They don't want you there. That's why learning this history is important. You got 1948ers all up and down in Spain. How were they exiled? Okay, but when you go over there, hey, they're at you. They're at you in South America. All right. It says this is an as told to essay based on a conversation with Dr. Londi Cox, an international psychologist and expat therapist. Okay, I guess that I don't know if expat is a word or is that supposed to be expert. Okay, therapist who's been living abroad since 2014. The essay has been edited for length and clarity. All right. She says, I'm an international psychologist, which means I've studied different cultures and cross-cultural human behavior. I became interested in how culture shapes psychology, especially in other countries. And you can have these diplomas, you can have these letters, these alphabets in front of your name, doctor, you know, master, you know, all of that. You can have that in front of your name, and that means nothing. Okay? The truth is the truth. There's no substitution for the truth. And the truth is that you're a Hebrew Israelite, okay? From one of the prospective tribes. And that's why you went through the things that you go through, all right? She says, I'm originally from California, where I spent most of my life before I decided to move overseas to Madrid to learn Spanish because I wanted to become a bilingual therapist. Okay, so I guess there's a difference between the Spanish that they have in Spain than the one that you get in California. Once I got overseas, I realized how different it was from everything I had experienced in America. Right off the bat, I noticed differences in value systems, okay? Yeah. So, yeah, this Western value system is corrupt. But the only people who idolize it are you dumb black Americans. And I'm saying black Americans, but I'm including, so-called Hispanics and Native Americans as well. Okay? Because you all behave, like idiots. So yeah, these people had a different set of standards. Okay, discrimination abroad. It says, of the 3 places I've lived abroad, I've received more negative attention for being a black woman in Madrid. Okay, like I said before. Okay, uh, we were there as the Moors. We were expelled there. Okay, they expelled us. Okay, those were not 1948ers who were expelled from Spain. Since there was a lot of staring and pointing, not because of admiration, but because I was black. All right. There are Afro-Spanish people in Spain, but a lot of times they would refer to me as a morena. Okay. And remember the word morano. Okay. That's what uh, we were referred to in Spain as the Moors, and that's where that's why you have a lot of people who claim, say Moors, because it would be Moreno, Morana, all right, Morena, okay, which means black, all right. They would call me out as a black person, even though other people would be called senor or senora. It felt derogatory in that sense, okay. So yeah, they knew that you identified as that. Okay. Now, had you identified as an Israelite, okay, you would have had if you and represented being an Israelite, you could have put them people, put them in their place. Okay. In England, I didn't feel discriminated against because of the color of my skin, but rather because I was an American. Okay. And of course, okay, because you come from a culture and a place where manners are void. Okay, manners are void here. People are void of manners and respect and integrity. Okay. Okay, she tells that story here in Okinawa, Japan. Sometimes I feel any type of discrimination is because I'm American. Okay. I recognize the complicated history with the U.S. military in Okinawa. It is in places like Tokyo that I felt more discrimination because I'm black. Okay, I was out one night with a group of 3 or 4 other black girls. We were denied entry into every club. Cabs ignored us and drove by. A group of guys were laughing and pointing at us. Yeah, no, of course. And they know your history in the club. So you go to the club and you cause problems amongst people in the club because you don't know you don't have respect about yourself. Okay, you don't have respect about yourself here. They know that they've been here. They've seen how you operate here, and they don't want you bringing that shit in their club. Okay. And they know, they're in law, okay, and they study that, Esau studies you. You still get studied by Esau. Esau has been studying you forever, okay? And he's been helping you to be the degenerate in the world that you are, and that's why you assume, an alias Black American instead of your real name, Hebrew Israelite. All right. So I'm going to get into some scriptures. All right. This is Ezekiel 25:1. All right. It says the word of the Lord, okay, Yahweh Shem Yahawashi, came again unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against the Ammonites. Okay, and this is against those Japanese, okay, because they know who you are. All right, they know who you are. They made money off of your oppression. Okay, it says, and prophecy against them, and say unto the Ammonites, and again, those are your Japanese, hear the word of the Lord power, Yahweh Shem Yahawashi. Thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahawashi, all right, because thou saidest, aha, against my sanctuary when it was profaned, and against the land of Israel when it was desolate, and against the house of Judah when they went into captivity. So, that's what these nations are doing now. Okay. I was just on 63rd in Cottage Grove yesterday. And, for years, I grew up, in that area. And for years, you've had these Moabites, all right, who have, held, Chinese food stores and, doing the nails and, so they bought up a lot of property in that area, okay, and they've held on to it. But now, okay, you have some developers who are buying that property, and what they've done now is they've sold, rather than sell that property, okay, to you Jakes who live in that community, they sold it to people who are not from that community. See, you gave them your money, okay, and did business and kept them in business with the Chinese food stores, getting the nails and, things done, okay. You poured your money into them, okay, put their children, they, sent the money back to China or whatever, okay. So you did that with them, and, their repayment was, they sold those establishments to other people, all right? They didn't sell them to you, okay? They didn't sell them to you, and it didn't matter because, Jake doesn't have the money to make those investments anyway, okay? Because of the other heathen, Esau, okay, who makes sure, okay, that, Jake will never be able to monopolize here in Babylon, all right? And so a lot of those shops, they go back, to man, hey, to the 70s at least, man. All right, before I was born. So, a lot of you people, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we tell you you're the Israelites and deliverance and salvation is only for you. And the first thing you do is mention these other nations, these other people. Okay? You want to bring in all these other people. Okay? But you see how they treat you. All right? So therefore, the Lord sees it as well. Okay? And you may be a clown. You may be a simp. All right? But the Lord is not. All right? So Ezekiel 25:4 says, behold, therefore I will deliver thee to the men of the east for a possession, and they shall set their palaces in thee, and make their dwellings in thee. They shall eat thy fruit, and they shall drink thy milk. Okay? And I will make Rabbah a stable for camels, and the Ammonites a couching place for flocks. And ye shall know that I am the Lord. All right? Verse 6 says, for thus saith the Lord Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, because thou hast clapped thine hands and stamped with the feet and rejoiced in heart with all thy despite against the land of Israel. Behold, therefore, I will stretch out mine hand upon thee and will deliver thee for a spoil to the heathen, and will cut thee off from the people, and I will cause thee to perish out of the countries. I will destroy thee, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Okay? And you can read, I just wanted to hit just that point, okay? Because all of the heathen ultimately are going to receive punishment. And, Ammon have received, punishment, okay, for their doings, man. Okay, just look at them, and then look at those nukes that they dropped on Ammon. Okay, so-called Japanese. Okay, I believe they dropped 5 nuclear bombs on Japan. Okay, so you don't see Japanese all around the world like that. Okay, and at one point they were those Ammonites were so strong they were able, they had China. Okay, all of the Chinese, under their foot. Okay, but now, okay, they don't even have an army. Okay, and a very weak navy. Okay, North Korea's steady shooting. North Korea would have never shot a missile in the direction of Japan. All right. And so it's going to get worse, man. The Lord, okay, once the Lord returns, okay, all of this, BS that these countries, because you countries you sit at the United Nations with the U.S. You sat there and you've helped them, prosper, even though we were in slavery and Jim Crow and they didn't give us reparations. You still go and sit at the table and operate and do business with them. So the Lord is going to judge you. You're steady getting smacked with typhoons and hurricanes and disasters. The nuclear facility went down. All right. But you Jakes, man, hey, you got to stop picking up the pieces, man. You are the Hebrew Israelites, man. Some of you are not going to be saved. Some of you, you're going to steady make excuse, okay, to why you're not a Hebrew Israelite. You're going to steady go abroad and behave yourself like, crazy. And things are going to happen, and we're going to do videos on you and say how you know how much of a fucking clown you are. Okay? We're not going to feel sorry or pity or want to mount up in your defense. because you have been warned, man. So, with that being said, Lord willing, you were edified, or your brain was ignited to look into things and seek these things out. Because look it up. Check out what we say. Don't just take what we say for face value. Check it out. Okay. So till next time, Shalom.